Alright y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Hunter Van Houten with Houten Builds. If you've been following the channel for a while, over let's say the last 3 years, you will have seen this Mustang that I'm in right now being built, and it has taken me a while just for a bunch of different reasons, but it takes a while to restore a car. It took me a little over 3 years for a lot of different reasons, but yeah, I wanted to today go through everything I did and the cost breakdown, how much it costs to actually build this car out and finish it. But other than that, everything's running and driving. I'm really enjoying, driving the car, and I've been taking it to like several shows and things like that. So now I feel confident, getting it out, putting it through the paces, putting miles on it, and just enjoying it. I mean, that was the whole point of this build to begin with, is really just to do it and to try and restore it myself and do everything myself. And I learned a lot by doing it. Let's rewind 3.5 years ago. I was coming off of like motorcycle restoration, whatnot, and I wanted to see if I could learn how to weld more so. I'd always wanted a classic car. 64.5 to 66 first-gen Mustangs have always been one of my favorite cars, and I always dreamed of owning one day when I got older, whatever. So I ended up scouring OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, everywhere, and I went and looked at a ton of them. None of them quite, aligned with what I wanted. Some of them were in really bad shape because my budget wasn't very high, and so I found this one specifically on OfferUp. They were asking $7,500 for it. That was out of my budget, but I thought, hey, I'd go look at it. I thought maybe we could work a deal, and I went and looked at it. It needed everything, full complete restoration. After realizing, hey, there's not a lot of rust here, it's got really good bones. It's a C-code car. It had the V8 and it had a 302 in it, actually, that somebody had replaced. And I thought, okay, this is great. It's not a 6-cylinder. I don't have to do any axle swap, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So then I was able to work a deal with the guy and talked him down to $5,900. So all at the door, I paid $5,900 for this car. That was not including the tow, so I had to get it towed because it was not running and driving. So I got it towed, and getting it towed was another $150 on top to get it towed to my home. So after all of that, I had to title it and get it registered, put on non-op, so non-operational. That wasn't too bad. That was like all said and done around $300. I used performance registration for that, which they're excellent. If you are in Southern California, you don't want to go to the DMV and deal with all that mess, use performance registration. They're great. I use them for all my stuff. Alright, so I started to accumulate tools over the time being that I knew that I needed to actually restore this car. But the main costs I wanted to go over were the cost of the parts. Obviously, we can't really factor in labor because it took me hundreds of hours. I wanted to go over actual parts amounts, companies, etc. So with Summit Racing, I spent $368.87 total. CJ Pony, $6,024. and 35 cents. On Jegs, I spent $157.58. And then used parts, I was able to get a lot of used parts from different people in the area for this Mustang, and I ended up spending about $400 in used parts. And that's not including labor or paint or the engine yet. So that was just parts. So one of the first things I did with the Mustang when I got it was to put new tires on, and I ended up ordering the tires through TireRack.com. I spent about $558 in total on those, and that was from TireRack.com. I ordered them. They brought them to the house, had a mobile balancing situation set up in their truck, which was amazing. So they balanced the tires and took the old ones off and put the new ones on. As far as the tires go, I got some hand-cooked 205/75 R14. I used the existing rims that I had and just got new hubcaps for them because this car originally came with the 66 hubcaps, which I didn't like, and they weren't year period correct. So I wanted the Spinner 65, so I ended up going with those. And then I wanted the white wall as well, and there are only a few companies that did them. I feel like they fit pretty well. They're not super aggressive,
but they're also not like puny as well. It worked out pretty good. The paint I ended up getting from a local paint store, and I went with a 65 correct color, and that was the Caspian blue. I just really liked it. It's also called Midnight Blue if you're looking for like a PPG paint code. So that way it was period correct. I just love this color. It's got more of like a grayish color to it, so it's like a slate kind of almost, but not really. But it's also got like a really good pop and sparkle to it, metallic. And I just loved it. It just looks really good. And so all of the paint and bodywork together, I can't even tell you how much the bodywork would have cost labor-wise, but the paint itself cost me about $330 out the door just with paint. That's not including the supplies, Harbor Freight spray gun. I also ended up getting an air compressor from Harbor Freight, and I got that on sale for about $300. But yeah, all in all, that's what the paint cost me. Bondo wasn't too expensive. You guys know what a can of Bondo costs. I went through about 1 can of Bondo, and then also went through some glaze as well, and then plenty of sandpaper. And the sandpaper I bought from Eastwood. So basically, the engine that came with the car, the 302 that was in it, had 289 heads on it. Great engine. I was going to have it rebuilt, but it had hydraulic lifters, and I didn't want to go that route. I wanted to go the roller route just for ease of breaking it in. I'm a newbie to this. I wanted to make it a lot easier. So what I did is I found a block off of Facebook Marketplace. It was out of an 89 Crown Vic, and it was a 5.0 302 roller block that I got for $200. That came with the crankshaft, which was great. That had already been polished. The block itself had been honed and bored. I think it was like 40 over or 30 over. And so I took that block along with my other engine to the machine shop. I traded them my other block for the extra cost of what it would be to get all of the roller parts, because this block was a roller block. All right, so go back and watch my other video if you're just wondering about that whole process. It was the engine rebuild video. This whole engine, everything, having the machine work done, cost me $2,250. That was by far the most expensive part of this build, which I knew it would be. But here's the thing. You guys saw me a while back replace the whole brake system. I ended up going with an Open Tracker racing kit that was a CSRP set, and that was a dual master cylinder with a disc swap in the front and then keeping the drums in the back. And that was an amazing brake system. It is an amazing brake system. I also didn't know how to do the alignment or set the brakes up properly, even with the instructions, and everything. And I wanted to make sure this car was super safe, was road worthy, road ready. So I took it to a local alignment shop that did alignment and brakes. And that ended up costing me a lot of money, way more than I wanted to pay. It cost me $900 in total. So that was an unforeseen expense. Hindsight, will not be doing that again. I can do it myself next time after what I've learned. They really didn't do that much. Everything still felt the same brake-wise, and also with the alignment, they couldn't really do all that much because I needed new upper and lower ball joints. So I just got charged way too much for not much work. Anyways, it is what it is. You learn a lot when you're doing these things, and that cost me way too much money. So I wasn't happy with that. All right, guys, so the moment you've all been waiting for, how much in total did this full build cost me in this full restoration? Obviously, I'm probably forgetting a few things. Was $17,230.80. Now, that's like give or take probably several $100s here and there for extra supplies if I miss like some sandpaper costs or some tools that I needed for the shop, like a pair of pliers or etc. I know a lot of people are like, man, that's a lot of money. Obviously, it's not perfect. It's not a concourse. It could be a daily driver, but I just wanted something reliable that looked good, that I was proud of. And I also wanted to learn. That was the whole point. I wanted to learn how to weld better, work on engines, the mechanics of a car. All in all, $17,000 over the course of 3.5 years was not bad. That is a lot of money, but to go out and buy this like it is probably from somewhere else that's been restored, you're probably looking at 23 to 25 grand, maybe even more. It depends on where you are. We're in Southern California, so cars do bring a premium. There wasn't really any rust on this. For the most part, it was in really good shape, and it does have the 5.0 roller. Would I recommend you taking on a project like this? Absolutely. I thought it was super fun. I learned so much from it. I love this car. It's so much fun to drive. It's sparked in me the desire to do more cars, classic cars, restore, work on them, etc., save them from the grave, basically. I just love it. Am I proud of it? Absolutely. I'm super proud of this. I know it's not perfect. I wasn't aiming for perfect. I was just aiming for something I would be proud of, and that's what I ended up with. I'm super thankful I had the opportunity to do this. I know it's a lot of money over time, and it does have a cost, and I know a lot of you out there who follow my channel are trying to buy your first classic, or maybe you have bought your first classic and you're starting the restoration process. Sometimes it can take 20 years, sometimes it can take 2 years. It just depends on what you're starting with and how far you want to take it. Also, the time you have, the money you have. I wanted to get this built and finished in a timely manner. My goal was 2 years. It took me a lot longer than that, but I'm super happy that I was able to finish it within 3.5 years, and now I'm able to start in another classics. Also, thank you guys for all your support, as well as all of your helpful feedback and recommendations. Like, so many of you that follow the channel have commented like, do this or do that, or try doing this, or from your own experiences and own mistakes, or whatever you had done with your classics and your knowledge. So that was exciting. You guys are so supportive. I'm so thankful that you guys have decided to follow my channel. I hope you continue to as I do more restorations. This has been super fun. Hopefully you keep tuning in and find it interesting and love it as much as I do. And if I can encourage the next person to take on their restoration and build their dream car, by all means, I want to do that, because this was an amazing experience. Yes, it had some headaches to it and some ups and downs, but overall, it's something I can drive and be super proud of. You can be proud of whatever you end up restoring as well, or whatever you bring back to life. Whatever kind of car that is, or whatever kind of project, and not even a car. It's just doing something and being able to be proud of that thing that you do, bringing something back to life, repairing something, fixing something, trying to take on something yourself. Thank you so much for following along. Please continue to follow along. There's going to be a lot more stuff. I'm trying to post more often, more frequently, to give you guys updates instead of like once every couple months, like a 40-minute video. I'm kind of tired of doing that. I want to be posting more frequently, and I'm excited to have the new project. If you haven't checked it out already, it's the 1963 Ford Falcon convertible. If you've stuck around this long, thank you, thank you, thank you. I do really, really appreciate it. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos coming soon. All right, I'll catch you on the next one.